Thanks for staying with us. Yesterday, we started a discussion on the crisis in Rivers State, and the whole of Nigeria is talking about it. What happened in Rivers State House of Assembly, where they were firing tear gas and dispersing water at Rivers State Governor Siminalayi Fubara as lawmakers scampered for safety. It is alleged that the governor himself and his predecessor, Nyesom Wike, are currently at loggerheads over the governance of the state. You can join the show. You can call us on the numbers on your screen so you can join the conversation. But first, we'll be speaking to hear your own thoughts on it, what happened. We'll open our phone line 08107641679, 09024163440. You can also tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag Yourview TVC so we can read your tweets. We would like to hear Nigerians' views on what's going on. There's been speculations here and there on what the cause of these feud could be. Many have speculated, saying that it's probably instigated by the former governor. Others are saying there are issues concerning the leadership of the region, which zone, which area, the riverine area versus those who have always been leaders in the state. Others are saying it's about resource control. There are different things going on out there, but we'd like to hear from experts later on and also from Nigerians, especially those living in River State. What are your thoughts? What happened? How did you experience it yesterday? And what comes to mind when you see stuff like this happening in governance? And then it will bring us to the conversation on successors. How do governors, or why do governors pick the successors, and what the expectations are when I pick you as a successor? And that's really all the conversation we're having. Let me start with you, talk about your thoughts on this drama that happened yesterday, and how did you make it out?
Okay, so obviously there's a political crisis going on in Rivers State. That's very obvious. But under no circumstances should the governor of a state be shot at by the police. At no point should we have the governor of the state be attacked by the security apparatus of the state. So for me, it just speaks to chaos and impunity. It speaks to the fact that there's no rule of law or order being followed. For whatever reason, for whatever grouse the governor has with anybody that has influence, if we have a sitting governor in his state, get this kind of attack happen to him,
but there was a video, though, that I saw, that somebody was saying, I think it was a member of the DSS, that was saying that stop shooting, the governor is here, because they didn't even, when they were attacking, it's possible they don't know the governor was around. So I saw that video where he was saying, stop, the governor has arrived, though, and got them. So it's possible. I'm not saying they didn't shoot, I'm just saying that the video I saw was where the DSS was telling the police that the governor is here, stop shooting. So it could be read in different ways, but what are your own general? I mean,
he's spoken up. He said that he spoke up to say that the governor said that he's done nothing to warrant being impeached. Said that he's willing to, if they're shooting at him, he's willing to die for what he believes in. And people have speculated online that he's trying to break free from the heavy chokehold that the former governor has on him and the finances of the state. So those allegations, knowing the kind of person that former governor of Rivers State and current minister for the FCT is, I was expecting that we would have heard a lot from his own side, because he's always very vocal about whatever it is that he has in mind. But I haven't seen his own press release concerning it, because they've been pointing fingers at him as the culprit here, because he has the loyalty of the State Assembly, as well as they said that the commissioner of the state is loyal to him, and he has put all of them together to fight the governor because the governor is not doing what he wants. Because
we may never have the background stories, because we're not into politics and we're not politicians. But I would like us to speak to the fact that, I think Dr. said it earlier, that governance isn't going on. It's just about politics. So. Yeah. And somebody was telling me somewhere that Nigeria doesn't have an economic problem. We don't have real problems. Our real problems are politicians. Because once you fix politics, everything else will suffer. Every other thing will fall into place. So politics and politicians are the issues, because they are not coordinating themselves properly. They are not understanding selfish interest, craft, and they're all going about their selfish interests. So if we fix politicians, Nigeria will be fixed, because there's so many opportunities in Nigeria. So, but what was your own take on what happened, and how do you see the behavior? As I said, we don't have the back stories of the political intricacies going in. Hopefully, we'll have our guests who shed some light on this. But from what your own observation, BC, what do you think? What do you make of it?
I think it's embarrassing. I think it's annoying. I think in 2023, this is not what we should be hearing. How can a governor be attacked, a chief security officer of the state be attacked by the same security officers that are supposed to even be protecting him? It doesn't make logical sense. And, you know, we do things without thinking of what is going to happen in the future, how the people who will be reading the history would, you know, talk about us. We don't care about legacy. And after a while, when that legacy starts and people start talking, you now come and start explaining yourself. It's not so, it was not so, it did not happen like that. I think we should stop all of this. Whatever the issues are, when you have left a position, you should leave a position and face what is in front of you. You cannot be in a position and trying to control the things because you had a say or had an influence in putting that person there. I think it doesn't make sense. We need to learn how to focus on the job in front of us. And that is why we see that the things that we're supposed to be doing to progress the nation, we are not doing it because we are busy bickering on the things we need to benefit or not benefit from where we have left. We need to move on from that. It's really embarrassing. And I would think at this point that the Commissioner for Police should come and speak up and tell us exactly what happened. I also think that the people of Rivers State should be shouting now and protesting what is happening to the governor who is supposed to be. Because if your governor is destabilized, there's no work that will be done in that state. Everything will be on a standstill, and that will be affecting the resources you're supposed to be getting.
The lawmakers are planning to impeach the governor. We also need to know what grounds
are they impeaching exactly. So what did the governor do to warrant an impeachment?
You can impeach based on anything.
No, but we need to know what the governor did. What is the gross misconduct?
It does not have definition. The Constitution has that loophole. Anything they say is gross misconduct is gross misconduct.
So in 4 months, he has actually acted in a way that is to impeach. Okay, I'll come to you in a minute, but I'm told our correspondents on line. You want to say your own initial thoughts first?
No.
Let's hear the correspondent's perspective so that we can now get Nima's view. Good morning, Mr. Uche Okoro is our TVC correspondent in Rivers State. Good morning, Uche. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Good morning.
Good morning. Good to have you on the show. Please give us an insight into what is going on in Rivers State. There have been so many speculations across the country. What are your own observations and what are your thoughts on this?
I've listened to your discussion. I've listened to your discussion for the last few minutes, and well, it kind of echoes what a number of the concerns that a number of residents in the state have raised. But you know, one thing is key here. Even before the incumbent and governor was inaugurated on the 29th of May here in Port Harcourt, there were a lot of speculations already that this was going to happen. You know, many people predicted that something like this was going to happen. Many people had said, well, let's give the administration 1 year. The persons had predicted, let's give the administration 2 years, let's give them 3 years. Some were even generous enough to say, well, the peace is going to last as long as the first tenure. Then by the second tenure, all hell is going to break loose. While a number of persons predicted this, very few, not many persons, if any at all, expected this to happen this soon. So that's that's actually you know what's getting that side. That's the surprise. The surprise isn't that this is happening. The surprise on the minds of many is the timing of what's going on. Well, everywhere is calm for now today compared to what was going on yesterday. Everywhere, yesterday, emotions were really high. Tempers were really high. Those who were for and those who were against were waiting for marching orders from the leaders of their various camps on what steps to take. But today, everywhere, the atmosphere is a sharp contrast from yesterday.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, Uche, we'll be hearing so many things here in Lagos because of what is happening. So what we hear is that the minister still controls appointments under the governor, and that his appointees are logized with the governor at the ESCO meetings every time because they take instruction from a different principal. Is that true?
Well, at the start of this administration, when the very first set of commissioners were inaugurated, I was there at the Executive Council chambers when the very first set of commissioners were inaugurated. Of course, what stuck out for many of us was that a number of persons who held key positions in under the previous administration were also being sworn in on that day as commissioners. Some persons before then, we also had a number of a key official who was who held a position under the former administration, holding on to or being given the same position in the new administration. And so we've had things like this featuring in the government so far. But as I speak to you, the Governor Siminalayi Fubara hasn't come out to speak directly to these issues. Yes, to what you've said, it echoes the concerns of many people. It echoes the thoughts of many residents in the state. But in terms of the control factor or the level of control that the former governor is exerting on the incumbent government, the governor hasn't spoken directly to that to say these are the issues, or that's the problem, or that's the axe they have to grind between each other. Until then, remains speculation.
Okay, so let's talk about the grounds for impeachment that they're talking about. In your view, as a correspondent covering that area, what do you think is the issue they are holding against him? What would the House of Assembly have to hold against him for impeachment?
Has he done? Or not?
Well, the Rivers House Assembly yesterday, when they passed when they signed that notice of allegations against the governor, they based it on gross misconduct and abuse of the office of the governor. Now, the specifics of that is what we do not know, because when you say gross misconduct, details, we need to know what actions or inactions have constituted to become gross misconduct. So, in a swift response to what happened at the auditorium of the assembly yesterday, the governor said that, well, he won't be the first governor to be impeached and he won't be the last. But, they need to come out to say what my offense is. What have I done? If they can those who might detract my political, those who are have certainly turned out to be political foes, can come out to say these are the specific actions or inactions that they are aggrieved about, then we can take it from there. But as far as the governor is concerned, those are just wild allegations and baseless allegations that are merely been hidden under some very selfish political interests.
So, for me, it is the fact that there was a lot of chaos that happened. From Sunday, there were speculations that the attack that happened on Sunday was to prevent the impeachment moves that they felt would happen on Monday. That there was an explosion in the state's assembly, which was to prevent the impeachment, and still the impeachment took place. Is there any, based on what you've gathered being on ground, would you say that there was truly the explosion that took place on Saturday was, on Sunday, was to prevent the attack on, the gathering on Monday? And what do you think the social media people that are saying that there is the hands of the governor, the former governor, is involved in the fact that the police are still under his command?
The governor, the impeachment hasn't taken place. I need to just quickly point that out. The process of impeachment is one long one. It can't happen overnight. It can't happen in the snap of fingers. The impeachment has not taken place. Rather, what has happened is right now the assembly is factionalized, as you may know. There are two persons laying claim to speakership of different factions of the House. So what happened yesterday was the commencement of impeachment proceedings and the processes. That's what commenced there. That's the first step, the notice of impeachment and all that. That's the first step. So it's a long drawn-out process. But in terms of the impact that the fire incident had on what was expected to happen, I would say it didn't have much of an impact, because the assembly, according to the lawmakers, the lawmakers can gather themselves and meet anywhere so long as they meet certain constitutional requirements. The location of their meeting is inconsequential. So if what happened on Sunday night was an attempt to forestall sitting on Monday, I would cautiously say that did not succeed.
Okay.
Okay, I know everybody's just... one of my concerns, Uche, is that if it was happening in Lagos, there'll be a lot of uproar, because the truth is that you can't just wake up and just say... there's not enough.
The concern is that now they are dragging it into Lagos, insisting Rivers not be Lagos. I don't like that,
comparison. No, but the comparison I'm making
Lagos
is
has
that...
worked on his master plan successionally government after government, and you people keep your business in Rivers and deal with it.
Okay, well, so I'm just saying that
the
impunity, the fact that somebody can just wake up and just say, okay, I'm impeached, it's just 4 months old.
No. So that side, that's on one side. On another side is the fact that
I have to go on a break, I'm sorry. I have to pause you. Hold that thought a minute. When we come back, we'll continue with our guest, Uche. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.